Okay, I'm ignoring these quests now and then. Oh, pigs! I want to kill the pigs.
Lovely. Is this the same field?
No, we're in town right now.
Oh.
We're leaving shortly.
Alright, I think I'm going to continue playing Final Fantasy.
Good. How's that going, by the way?
I just recently got Fire 2, my first level 3 spell.
How many times can you cast it in a day?
Twice.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty fucking rad. It does like 75 to 125 damage to all enemies on screen.
I saw you. I saw you tweeted the
Yeah.
the grave of the Dragon Warrior character.
Oh yeah. There is so Dragon Warrior on NES, which I guess Dragon Warrior is an Enix game, and Final Fantasy was Square, obviously, but I think they were both published by Nintendo in America. And there's a grave in Final Fantasy that is.
I actually don't think that's true. I don't think either of them were published by Nintendo.
Are you sure?
Because I'm not 100% certain, but I'm
well,
pretty sure. But I think I think the reference was supposed to be like Square, like poking fun at the competition, essentially, like saying, "Hey, look how much better we are."
Okay, that's funny. The only thing that I would say might not. The only the reason I would say they were both published by Nintendo is because in Dragon Warrior, there's people all over the game that ask you if you've seen a person named Nestor, and then eventually you meet Nestor, and then like in the manual for Final Fantasy, there's like the example characters are always named Nest for Nestor.
Yeah, actually, in America they were both published by Nintendo.
Weird. That's super weird.
Nintendo did. Well, actually, now that I remember,
I know that.
Pretty sure all 3 Final Fantasies were published by Nintendo. That was the thing. So like when Square went to PlayStation, it was like they were also leaving Nintendo as a publisher as well as a platform.
I know that the current like modern day Dragon Quest games, Nintendo publishes a lot of them.
I actually someone tweeted at me in response to that saying that like in the later releases of Final Fantasy, they changed the grave to Link.
Yeah, I remember hearing that as well.
Because the thing was that Dragon Warrior takes place in Elfgard, so I guess everyone's an elf, maybe, I don't know. And then the place where you find that gravestone in Final Fantasy is like a city where it's all elves.
Game Master Mac in the chat room says it's in the Japanese version, it's Link. And I would believe that because the dude's a game master.
Yeah, he knows it. He probably knows Nestor personally.
Also, Frostily says he's having an egg and hot dog sandwich. That's fucking gross.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
That could be awesome, though. It could
How
be
would
awesome.
that work, though?
Guys, a hot dog is just a kind of sausage.
So are you cutting it into little discs?
Yeah, you can cut hot dogs lots of ways.
I know,
Yeah,
but
you
just
just need half.
eating a sandwich of like little hot dog discs with
No,
egg.
you
I
could
don't.
cut.
I don't know.
No, you cut it the long way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of. Well, I guess you could have like 4 hot dogs in there.
You could cut it length and width-wise.
That's a lot of pig butt, is all I'm saying.
No, but
Delicious pig butt.
back to Final Fantasy for a second. What I liked way more than the Dragon Warrior thing was I looked in the manual and an example of there was a black mage named Phil there, just like our black mage named Phil. That was pretty funny.
That's crazy. This was predicted so long ago.
I know, they knew it would happen.
What was the white mage name? Was there a white mage?
Tommy.
Oh.
You're gonna have to change your name, dude.
I think so. Either that or I'm gonna get replaced by the Green Ranger.
No, it was the white mage was Tommy, and the fighter and the black belt were Howard and Nestor.
Oh no, that's awesome.
Except they only had room for Hawa and Nest.
Yeah, I guess.
it's kind of funny to see, like, Dragon Warrior took place in Elfgard, and then there's that city with elves in Final Fantasy. Then, like, in Faxanadu, all of the, I guess what you would assume were humans are all elves. And it's like, it seems really weird now to see elves in a JRPG, because I don't associate them that way at all anymore. Like, I feel like I'm way more used to JRPGs making up their own weird fantasy races.
Yeah, that's one of the interesting things I feel like about the history of Final Fantasy, of just like playing the original one and realizing how it all comes from Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
it's really
like directly stolen.
Or rather, it's like back then all the mechanics they had, like random encounters and turn-based battles and stuff. That was all kind of like, whoa, what are you doing?
There's like crazy balls flying at me.
Nice. You know what I'm right?
I'm not sure I get it.
Wait, when you hit them, do they go away, or like can you just attack them? And...
I don't know. I guess I could probably find out.
When did Dungeons and Dragons come out? The 60s?
80s, I feel like.
No way.
No,
maybe
like
70s.
It was like the 70s.
Late 70s? It
I'm
looks
gonna
like I
say-
can hit those, yes.
It's gotta be early 70s, right? Let's look this up. Looking it up. I'll say 1975.
Sure.
Look the difference.
1974?
Look this up.
Looks like. The 80s. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Phil.
I don't fucking know, dude. That's when I was born, and that's when I found out it existed.
1974.
How would you have found out it
That seems
existed
reasonable.
before you were born?
I'm not saying I would have. I'm saying I found out it existed in the 80s. So that's when it started, as far as I'm.
You need to take advantage of your fatherly duty right now and educate your unborn child about Dungeons and Dragons.
Nope.
First RPG was Final Fantasy VII on the PS1.
This music is really good, you guys. What do you guys think about it?
Fuck off, Phil.
I wonder how many people's first RPG is Final Fantasy 13.
Oh.
Like that, like legitimately
No.
depresses me.
Nobody.
You think it's really nobody? Like
Yeah.
no one?
I think
Yeah,
I think there are way too many RPGs at this point. Like,
I
It's
mean,
more-
certainly
it's
there's got to be some people who that's their first RPG.
I'm sure someone said that about every single Final Fantasy, though.
but I think at this point there are like so many RPGs out there that, like, if you're some kid playing a bunch of games for the first time, like, would you even be able to remember that 13 was the first one? Like, because even back in the PlayStation 1 era, like, most of the RPGs were all turn-based and stuff. Like, there was such a clear distinction between what was an RPG and what wasn't, whereas now, like, you know, there are so many action games where numbers fly off the characters or, you know, whatever. It's like, how would you even choose what was the first game you played that was an RPG? Unless it was fucking Final Fantasy 13, I guess.
I don't know. There's still, like,
There's a pretty clear definition.
there's still, like, games that are, like, RPGs more than anything else. First and foremost.
I guess I just mean the line is so much blurrier now than it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you.
It's
Like,
still a pretty clear line, though, in some ways.
But I
don't
still think
so.
there are plenty of, like, there are games that are like, okay, yeah, that is definitely an RPG, as opposed, like, first and foremost before anything else.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there was a time where you could say, like, oh, I only played, like, Super Mario Brothers and Tetris and all these other, like, side-scrollers or shooters or whatever, and then I played Final Fantasy, or then I played, whatever, Earthbound or something. Whereas, like, now it's... I almost feel it was... You could be like, I played this game when I was a kid, but, like, it had like it had an equipment system, but there weren't like number stats, and then like in this game, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you would, like, to pick what was the first RPG that you played, you would have to like rule some out. Like, this is kind of an RPG, but not really. So we'll say that's not my first RPG.
What do you like? What games would be ruled out by this system?
Like Call of Duty, because Call of Duty is pretty like RPG like. You have all these perks and stuff.
Really.
You pick a loadout. You have experience points that you gain.
There are like minor RPG elements, but I don't think anybody's gonna ever say Call of Duty was my first RPG.
No, but that's what I'm saying though. Is that like Call of Duty isn't an RPG, but it has so many things that used to be exclusive to RPGs.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna get confused and say that was their first RPG though. I have
It's
more
just
faith,
an example.
I have more faith in the children of our future.
No, it's not that people are going to think Call of Duty is an RPG. It's like Call of Duty is a great example of a game that isn't an RPG but has RPG mechanics in it. Like, no one thinks of it as an RPG, but when you actually look at it, there are a ton of things about it that are kind of like that.
I mean, I agree with that. I just don't think that has anything to do with
I'm
not being able to say that yeah.
I just mean that there are a lot of games in between Final Fantasy and Call of Duty that are much more unclear about it.
That you're not giving any examples.
Like what?
My God.
I mean, like the closest thing I can think of is like a Mass Effect or maybe a Borderlands.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like those are RPGs. I'm willing to accept those as RPGs.
Yeah, Mass Effect, I guess, is an RPG. It's close enough. It's pretty close.
It is definitely like a blurrier line, like you said, than when I was a kid.
Yeah. Someone pointed
I would
out.
accept the answer Mass Effect was my first RPG, though.
Yeah, because it's totally an RPG. That's what I'm saying.
Your opinion, as always, is entirely inscrutable. I have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's that it's debatable
why Kyle
now.
can't
We're like,
one because no one's actually sure what he thinks right now.
but I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I'm saying which games are RPGs and which aren't is like debatable in some cases. Where Dylan's like, I'll give it to Mass Effect. All right, Mass Effect's an RPG. Whereas in my mind, Mass Effect is totally an RPG.
I think it became less of an RPG.
Yeah, but
You're right.
Dylan's just being his old
But
grumpy
better.
self. Old grumpy pants Dylan.
I mean, like, you could say Mass Effect became less of an RPG, but mostly what it did was just the action got better. Like, it didn't really, like, there were less places to put skill points, but, like, just because the action became more confident doesn't suddenly not make it an RPG. Like, no, I played like shit, so it was an RPG at first.
In my day, all the RPGs played like shit, and we liked it.
Someone pointed out Super Mario RPG, and that was funny because when I didn't have a Super Nintendo, but my friend rented it one time, and that might have been the first RPG I ever played, and at the time we didn't even know what RPG meant or stood for. Like, that game might as well have been called like Super Mario FLR.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you guys like have any sense of like, did you guys come up with something that meant to you, or was it just
No.
like we don't know what the fuck this title means?
No, we just didn't know, and we were like, "This is really weird." Like, you pick attacks from a menu, and then it happens. And also, it was like a late game save file, so like Bowser was on your team. And we're like, "This is the weirdest game I've ever seen."
Auburn DM says Super Mario RPG is definitely not an RPG. Man.
Wow.
No, they're
We've really
joking.
come full circle.
Someone says Alpha Protocol.
Although Super Paper Mario, there's a good example of one that's like
Yeah, I don't know
serious
about that.
debate over whether or not that's an RPG. I don't know what I would say actually.
I've been wanting to take another look at that game, but the easy answer is yes, because when you jump on things, numbers come out. Duh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Can we think of any games where numbers come out of things like an RPG, but it's not an RPG?
I was gonna say Frog Fractions, but that's totally an RPG.
greatest RPG of our generation.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
completely an RPG, so that's out.
Well, shit.
Well, we're here from strangers. Go away.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything.
Listen to me. You're not.
Frostaway says Borderlands, but I think we already went with that's an RPG.
I would
so-
say Borderlands is an RPG. Yeah, for sure.
Someone said Zelda 2, but I feel like that's. Am I remembering right? It seems more like an RPG to me. Like you level up, don't you?
Zelda 2 is more of an RPG than any other Zelda game, at least.
Yeah.
But that just proves that things were already like messed up way back then.
Yeah, you're right. Like that's a good example of like there used to be like this coalition of people that were trying to tell you that Zelda's games were RPGs because back on the NES, like that was kind of an RPG at the time because your health bar got bigger or something.
Let's go talk to Pope and figure out a plan.
Man, I just spent all this time climbing around and exploring this place for nothing. They just sent me right back to the village.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out what the hell you're doing here.
I was like trying to find the village chief here, and then I found him, and he's like, I don't want to talk to you, so now I'm just leaving.
This reminds me of
Great.
Resident Evil 4.
Yeah,
Look out for what were they called?
Zombies.
Someone says Deus
Mutated
Ex.
humans.
Someone says Deus Ex. Totally not an RPG, dude. Oh,
Not
that's
an
that's
RPG.
Austin.
Deus Ex, not an RPG.
Not an RPG.
Definitely.
Urgh.
Close. Very close to an RPG.
Someone says I've played Pokemon for so long and never knew it was an RPG. It never felt like one to me. It's kind of silly.
Yeah, that's kind of
Pokemon's the
sad.
most RPG.
Yeah.
That's definitely that's
That's
super
actually one of the
RPG.
craziest things about Pokemon is that it's so like old school RPG.
Yeah. That. You know, I say that like that guy's crazy, but it's totally true because I say like Final Fantasy VII and Super Mario RPG were the first RPGs I played, but I played Pokemon before both of them. I just didn't know that it was an RPG at the time because I didn't know what that meant.
That's the flower I told Yona about.
And some Raveth is like, "What? Deus Ex is totally an RPG." Yeah, we were kidding, or at least I was. I don't know about Dylan.
That's
Uh-oh.
Oh boy, guys.
I fear
Ladies.
we have greater issues to deal with.
Whoa.
Is she not wearing pants? What is...
She's wearing lingerie.
This whole ensemble
Is she
is
a shade?
troubling me.
Wait, I think I talked to this lady in Scarlet Blade.
Yeah,
What are you waiting
Is this
for?
female
She was a
sub?
little more covered though.
she's like, my eyes are up here.
Certainly not to be trifled.
Oh wait, you guys aren't seeing the same thing that I'm seeing. Stream problems.
Can't seem to do much against this
She's
lady.
got a way bigger health bar than you.
Don't let your guard waver.
You guys think Final Fantasy is an RPG?
No,
Nah.
Yeah, I don't either. Like, you have these number stats and you get into random encounters and stuff, but,
Strike there.
like, where's the story?
I knew this would happen.
Yeah, the Hat Person 9, I was gonna say, are we taking bets on whether or not this is his daughter, or like his past daughter, or future daughter, or some variation of that?
the daughter from 2064
Yeah.
or whatever.
She doesn't look a day over 1800.
Oh god, what? That angle. Oh man. This is some
Video
anime
game angle.
shit. Yeah.
Oh, she does have pants. They're just
Is this
stitched
They're
up
sort
weird
of
in the back.
pants.
I don't
It's
think
gonna be
those
like
are
the-
pants.
Those are
it's gonna be the
underpants.
video game version of Old Boy?
I kind of hope it is.
By
God
my
damn it.
very pages, this girl wields magic.
That's probably not good.
Someone asks, is that the pants from You Don't Know Jack? What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know.
Oh, because there's Avatar pants from You Don't Know Jack that's one long leg and one short leg.
Yep.
I think that's like a sock or a boot.
Oh.
Because it
Look
stops.
like bandages,
It stops
kinda.
part way up.
She's the producer of the Phantom Pain, so she has bandages on her leg.
Oh shit! Monster Hunter crossover confirmed.
Whoa, that thing.
What the hell monster is this? It looks like it's made of jello. I think this is a Queensblade crossover.
I was gonna say.
I'm way into that thing's boobs.
Ugh.
Now we're on the same side!
Yay!
Holy shit.
Beware the shockwave.
That is so gross.
This is awful.
Ugh.
Stay out of my way.
The fact that each one has a hole in it makes me like. I feel like at some point there's gonna be some like bug monsters that fly out or.
Oh, that's terrible.
Focus of her anger.
Melting Plague says, is this going to turn into one of those tentacle movies I've heard so much about? Which I think is pretty accurate.
How much have you heard about that?
Have you heard of Hatsune Miku?
Yeah, that's when you get to the extreme difficulty, it actually turns into a tentacle movie.
But Nier's
Or
still.
as they call it, Japanimation.
Sorry, whatever. Phil is still the protagonist. Phil! Exclamation point.
I like to imagine that is just saying, he's just saying Phil after everything.
Die, 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 die. You're gonna pull out your teeth.
Did we talked about the Miku Dominoes app, right?
I don't know if we did.
Yeah, that's a weird, creepy thing.
Weird, awesome thing, right?
Have you seen, I guess there are AR codes on the actual Japanese Domino's pizza boxes?
Yeah.
Have her go into like way creepier positions,
Oh.
like wearing like cat prints and stuff.
The thing is, the people who are super creeped out by that, it's old hat. Like, there's a game in Japan that's just that. Like, you buy it and there's like a little card you plop down, and you point a camera or whatever at it on your computer, and then it makes a little like girl on the screen, and then you can like poke her with your finger and dress her up in costumes and like literally hit her and stuff. So they're just putting that technology in a pizza box and
Yeah,
making it
this sounds
funny.
great. This sounds like everything I've ever wanted.
Didn't they like make that for the PlayStation Eye here, but with like a monkey hamster hybrid?
Yeah, iPet or
Pets.
something,
Yeah.
right? iPet?
I
Yeah.
believe so.
I played the demo for it. It was fun.
You sound really convincing right there.
I almost bought it, but to play with my sister.
Sure.
What
Box
do you
of
need to
Vault,
say is that
not
his,
like
his sister's like in her 30s.
Yeah. My sister's only 3 years younger than me.
It's not like the witch touching game, because the witch touching game you have to touch them to find out if they're a witch. In this thing, they're not witches, and you're just doing it because. They're completely different.
You have to touch them to find
They're-
out which is.
They're just
Wait.
girls at
Oh, the
your
DS game.
Yeah, there's a DS. I think it's just called Witch Toucher or something.
I think it was
It's a very
actually.
direct name.
I think it was actually Witch Touch Unlimited. Verily,
Type X.
Thanks.
Type X.
The Kalki deck says, wait, iPad isn't supposed to be erotic?
It is what you make of it.
This cutscene is great also.
Wow.
Oh,
What?
that's not cool.
By the way, when we mentioned Old Boy,
There we
someone made
go.
a Marmalade Boy joke, and I was not pleased.
It was Austin.
You take your Marmalade Boy very seriously.
Shame on you, Austin.
Thump.
Thump, witch judgment.
It's just amazing.
The symbols.
Heart-pounding magical investigation.
Oh my god, that's
Is
incredible.
the DS region free? I may have to pick this up.
I've never seen the like.
This one has been
For no
possessed
reason.
by Shade. She exists as neither fully human nor other.
I guess half
Marmalade Boy's not about incest. They're not related, and they didn't grow up together. Don't be weird, Austin.
down like a
Wait, I thought it was about incest. Was I misunderstanding that whole stream?
Well, their parents get married. It's
Oh, that's right, it's like
Incest
Brady
law,
Bunch,
not
but
the
fucked
dad.
up.
no, it's basically like I lost words. It's
Yeah,
like
my character said, "We don't have time to debate your humanity, woman."
I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. It's gonna be my wallpaper, I think.
Look, you're half human. I'm being followed by a talking book.
A half-human and a
It'd be
giant
cool if your
tree.
probably daughter was a bit less
I could
sexy
deal
as she
with
reclined, all wounded and stuff. A little creepy. Also, I guess she just lives in half a tent.
There's nothing about that character that says less sexy.
I think her swords could be sexier. They're really like manly, gross
Oh.
swords.
Did you see that? That diary entry was today's dad's birthday, but he's not here.
That's fucking awful.
Oh. I guess I could go check in on my daughter or just ignore her. I can't. Do I want to be a terrible dad?
Eh.
I guess I'll go check on my daughter. I don't want to be a terrible
word
dad.
at Yona.
This game is training for your parenting license. Secretly.
What are you gonna do when your future kid comes back in time and they still have that dark scrawl going on and they're wearing clothing you don't approve of?
Okay, good news.
Nobody cares.
Leave this place alive.
Calm down.
I got this giant
Cannot
hand
prevail
that I
if
can
you are
crush people
blinded
with.
rage.
That seems nice.
Do you have that good power yet?
Not quite. I'm getting there.
This hand is pretty sweet, though.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Can you hold the girl's hand and help her up ledges?
No.
Have you the skill to hunt one of those down?
Maybe. They're pretty angry badgers.
Can you use that giant hand to, like, gather?
Just use it as a...
Hey, that's how you pick up eggs. Like, you just pick up, like, 4 eggs at a time now.
There must be a sealed verse inside that enormous shade. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, we could barely hold it off. And we had that
Thump,
girl help.
thump, witch judgment.
We need to
So good.
Melting Plague says, it's 10:10 p.m. Do you know where your shade-infested, scantily clad future daughter is? It's good.
Yeah, that person's way off also. It's 1:10. You're crazy.
No, it's 10:10.
No.
This is... I'm hosting this stream. We're going by Pacific time.
It's not my fault you host from a fake place.
I feel like I live in, like, a more real place than you.
No.
There's so many homeless people out here, it's super real.
That is pretty real.
That's what you get for living in Corrales.
The American Revolution started here, Jack. You're welcome. Actually, speaking of San Francisco, I think in maybe a few months, I might end up visiting San Francisco because my friend moved there like a year ago and he invited me over.
Where does he
So that'll
live?
be... Huh?
You're not allowed to come here.
I didn't even bother asking, but he said he lives 15 minutes from an airport. So.
Okay. All right. That sounds like a place in San Francisco. I think we're gonna stop. I think I'm gonna stop for tonight because I gotta go hunt monsters. Because I need to finish my review of that game.
So how many hours are you gonna play of that game before you write the review?
I said earlier I'm around I feel like over 30 now, like 30, 35, something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to have the review up, or have it written, I guess, at least by Tuesday. So I'm gonna sink a bunch more hours into it today and some tomorrow, and it'll probably end up being around 40, 50 hours.
Have you been getting in some hot multiplayer sessions?
Yeah, I did some multiplayer with some of the guys from 8.4.
Cool.
And they had literally just started characters, and the multiplayer kind of is under the assumption that you have already got your characters some new equipment and stuff, so
yeah,
it was a little rough, but but it was fun. We're gonna do some more, I think, soon. But yeah, I will hopefully be streaming some Monster Hunter sometime this week, probably on Polygon's channel. I'm kind of digging Nier. I might keep playing it some next week. We'll see. I guess I did make that promise to Kyle that I would finish it.
Yeah, I have your word now, so don't burn me on this, Phil.
I'm kind of liking it though. It's kind of
Phil.
It's going fine so far.
Phil, don't fuck up.
Tomba5 is asking, my reviews are on Polygon.com. There are video reviews on Polygon.com. We're starting to do more of them, but Monster Hunter will not be a video review. It will be a written review.
Is there a way that I could get it read to me? Could you call me on the phone?
If you call Kyle, he provides a service whereby he will read anything to you.
That is true.
For
yeah.
a small fee.
Yeah.
I feel it might be. I think
He primarily likes reading fan fiction, but I think he would settle for reading a review.
Yeah. I actually, my prices are so... I'm losing money on this. This is actually a really bad venture.
Box of Lol says there isn't a good LP of Nier. So maybe this
You're
is
welcome.
It. Maybe this is the one. Maybe we're going to provide that service. Yeah,
I'm not sure we've ever done that so far, so don't make these promises.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Our gun LP is the most
it's comprehensive.
Comprehensive gun LP of any gun LP
now
on the
the
internet.
quintessential gun LP.
When you look up gun in the dictionary, it's just a link to that LP.
In the Nier dictionary or the actual dictionary?
No, just the actual dictionary.
We're gonna take it out on this sexy pose. My name's Phil Kohler. Dylan Hecht. The internet's Dylan Hecht. Twitter.com/Dylan Hecht.
Yep. I said it at the beginning.
My name is Hideo Kojima. You can find more of my work at thephantompain.net. And on CompuServe.
Keyword Phantom Pain.
Keyword, it's all CG.
AOL keyword Moby Dick Studios.
Janine, how about you?
I'm at Bleeding Heart on Twitter. That way that no one can spell.
Guys, remember AOL keywords?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And
I'm on...
Back when the internet was simple.
I'm twitter.com/pkohler. And also, if you're watching this live, you can find archive stuff at youtube.com/KefkaTerran. If you're watching it on YouTube, you can find my streams at twitch.tv/KefkaTerran. We'll be back next week. I'll probably stream some other stuff throughout the week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Internet.
Bye.